Up next on Inside ChampCar, VIR 24 Debrief. Welcome to this episode of Inside ChampCar. Brian Polanski. A little different today. Now I got Bill next to me, this way. How you doing, Bill?
Or that way.
Exactly.
That way. The mirror image.
That's right.
Brian, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic. I should have said it is the Lifeline VIR 24.
24-hour classic.
24-hour classic. That's the debrief we got coming at you, folks. How is everybody? How? First of all, you had a thing before the thing, right?
The thing? What do you mean?
Didn't you have a wedding this weekend, or is that coming up?
No, that's coming up. It's October.
Oh, okay.
When my son gets married. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's got a little bit to go.
The thing before the thing.
It's actually during the Road Atlanta race. So we're probably going to have Paulie, break away from the race. And no, I don't think we're transmitting. But but yeah, we're going to have that for that. Hey, we were at VIR this weekend.
We were.
Lots of racing, very little sleep. Rockwell Auto Sport Development and their Porsche takes the win again, 2 in a row. Took home the watches, took home the big Iron Man trophy, the Class C trophy, took home all kinds of stuff. Team Troxel Racing, 13 laps back with their BMW 325 IS. RVA Graphics and Wraps, they take third place. They've won this race, I believe, in the past. They were fighting in it 13 laps back. Rockwell Autosport, their other car, finishes fourth. And Atlanta Speedworks into fifth place. MDR Motorsports and their Porsche Boxster into sixth. Wheels America Racing finishes seventh and eighth, which was pretty cool. Wait, is that right? That is right. Where's the Honda guys?
I don't know.
Oh, Honda. No, the Honda guys show up. The Honda USA West.
Right.
They showed up with their little Civics. Let me find out where they are. Oh, they were EC class, and they were pumping out. They took EC first place in EC and second place with both cars, beating Vaughn Motorsports 1988 BMW by 35 laps with those fairly stock Honda research cars. You think they were stock? I'm pretty certain they're not on our DPI list. That's why. But yeah, they kicked butt, and they look good down there, sitting right in front of the tower, so we can keep an eye on them. But yeah, it was a fun night. You know what I did all night?
What did you do all night?
Most of the race, I sat in front of a screen and watched marching ants.
Nice.
When I wasn't doing that, I went and helped Paulie out, and I did sneak away for like a 5-hour or 4-hour sleep, about 1 o'clock in the morning. Now, the cool part about that was that Paul did not sleep. Every year, Paul breaks away.
Oh.
Does his little sleep, and then Tiffany and I run the show all night. But we kind of did the opposite this year, and Paul kicked butt. Now, I had thought Paul had been to this track before, and he had never been there.
Oh.
So I'm like, Paul, go in here. Just, I really didn't give him much instruction, thinking that he knew where it was. He had no clue where he was at.
Oh gosh.
So, yeah, that was my mistake. But
when I watch the marching ants, all I can think of is the Empire Death March from Star Wars. Dun 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 dun. So you got to put that as the background music to the marching ants.
Just over and over and over again.
Just play it in a loop.
Yeah, that was actually pretty cool. James Ballinger showed up Friday night. We were at the track until a little after I think close to midnight.
Okay.
Setting stuff up. Then had to be up real early the next morning, so that kind of sucked. But James worked all day long Saturday and into the night and into Sunday morning, and we had a really good system. I think he's kind of experimenting with technology to see how it works with us.
Yep.
And then so we can use it with the other series that'll be using Flagtronics, which is SCCA and others as well. So
and that's one of the things I've always said. It's cool with ChampCar and Flagtronics because you guys are kind of like the beta test site. So you get all the new doodads and gadgets. to see if they work.
Yep.
And that means you're on the cutting edge.
Yeah, we are. And it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So a lot of wires and a lot of technology. I know James uses a lot of really big words. I have to tell him to pull it down. Little words. Less science.
He blinded you with science.
Yeah. So, he's an engineer.
Of course.
I'm
He's
not.
smarter than both of us combined, which is not a high bar.
He thinks that.
Oh, that's good.
Pretty funny.
That's good. Well, next time you see him, say hi for me, okay?
Yep. And so it was a good weekend. Weather held out. We thought we were going to have a little bit of fog at one point. It kind of snuck in over turn 17 and a little bit over turn 1. I don't know what happened between the hours of 1 and 5. I slept. You know where I slept? Timing and scoring. That little couch in there.
Yep.
Little couch in there. Troy slept on a bed that was probably 4 foot square, but he fits on a 4. That was probably like a king size for Troy. So he slept there while Kelly ran timing and scoring.
It was made for a black lab.
Probably. Yeah, probably. That's funny.
We just bought a bed for our black lab. I kind of imagine it being, that's what you're describing.
Yeah, pretty much. So we slept there overnight.
Sorry, Troy.
During the night. That's all right. So, but yeah, and like I said, Wheels America Racing, AOA Racing in 9th, and I could just keep going down here, but we're gonna go all the way down to 22nd, or there we go, 26th place, second in D class, the number 11, Black Flag Racing.
Is this my cue?
That is your cue.
All right.
Wrong guy. Now you have to go through your match.
Keep saying nice things about him while I press buttons.
Black Flag Racing. They show up with a 1995 Chevrolet Camaro, which, you say Chevy Camaro and you put that in a 24-hour, and they don't really do all that great nowadays. Historically they haven't done it. They spend a lot of time in the paddock, but guess what? Jet, you brought Black Flag Racing, and you brought a Camaro, and you almost had D class.
Almost.
So, yeah, this is Jet. Now, Jet, Black Flag Racing. How'd you get started in this crazy stuff called ChampCar? Or actually racing, because you did HPDE too.
So racing, like I said, one of the guys that I was on the team, Marco, he came in, had an appointment with me and started talking about HPDs and cars, and we need to get on the track. And my father-in-law, vintage race, and he was the one that got me into it.
Wait, you said appointment. You're a surgeon, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I'm a brain surgeon.
Yeah. You do tattoos?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So I went to Bertle Roos.
Nice.
Did their school and started racing with VDCA. I did some SCCA stuff, and I was gonna run with Section 8, and I was getting their contracts and all their stuff, and I said, you know what? Why don't I start my own team? I've got a bunch of buddies. We raced together, and so I reached out to a couple of the guys, and they were, didn't take them 2 seconds to say yes, and we started looking for a car and found this car out in Charlotte, and the rest was history, man. It's it was pretty quick. I mean, we bought it in April, so we had one test day with it at CMP, where the
Did that
shocks.
go well for you? Did that go well?
No, it didn't go well at all.
So what happened on your test day?
So we took it out, and flying down the front straight, hit the brakes, and the car said, "No, I'm not going to cooperate." And it went sideways, and I correct and went the other way, and I just complete 180 on the track. Stayed on track, kept going. Brought it home after that, and we put it through a bunch of one after another laps and sessions and stuff like that. It handled well, but it just wouldn't break for anything. Pulled the shocks, and you just compressed them, and they went like this and never came back apart. So,
oh, that's bad.
Yeah, so that was the reason there. There was other things, but we went through it, like I said, weekend after weekend. I mean, right up to the weekend right before. I mean, I had to weld in different stuff for the cage, and I mean, countless hours of stuff, just trying to get this thing ready. And
So our chief
yeah.
of tech, Ray Frank, was on speed dial.
Oh my God. Yeah. I sent him pictures and we talked and, I don't get a fuzzy feeling about this and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
it was.
at least you're from North Carolina, where you can understand Ray.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
helps.
It was funny because we were working on it on Friday night, and my buddy was in there and he's doing some stuff, and this guy comes over and he's looking in the car and and he was about to be like, "Get out of here, old man!" And here it was Ray, and I saw him come over, and I was somewhere else in the trailer or something, and I walked over and I said, "Hey man, how's it going?" I had a feeling that that's who it was.
Yeah.
So I introduced myself, and yeah, he's like,
I like that. Go away, old man.
So yeah, it was funny. But yeah, we were working on it. I mean, all the way up until Friday night. Just trying to little odds and ends, trying to get it ready. One thing after another. You have to have tape on the window. You have to. It was just like I said. I learned my lesson. Read the rule book before you buy a car and try and do this.
Well,
stuff,
if not before you buy the car, before you take it to the track the first time, you don't have to necessarily, give
yourself more time than a couple months before you go run 24 hours. But yeah.
But that said, did Bill? Did you say second place in D?
Yeah.
You didn't do so bad, my friend.
No, that's crazy. Second place in D class, because there was a lot of D class cars there. Let me look. There's probably only 2. No, there was 8 D class cars. I mean, Good, Bad, and the Ugly, Eddie Vedder, the Section 8 cars, Racing for Heroes, who has a good reputation. That's their home track.
Yeah.
The Crown Victorious, which was I guess they run in Lemons as well. They finished there. They had a lot of issues at the beginning of the race, but to beat those other cars, they had mechanical problems, of course, because they were really fast. But I mean, one of the Good, Bad, and the Ugly Corvettes, the 350 car, which was a D class car, they did 17 laps. That's not good. Eddie Vedder did 62 laps with their vet. They had some overheating issues. And then the Section 8 Mustang, 115 laps. And I think they might have had a wall stuck into their car. I don't know. Something. I can't remember if that was that.
There's a lot of people with walls stuck in their
car.
car.
Yeah. Well, not a lot, just a few. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
racing, the Corvettes, but and Section 8's other Ford Mustang GT. So that that's just wicked that you actually did so well your first race out. You have fairly new drivers; they haven't done wheel-to-wheel racing. You have a green crew that's helping you out because you just got a bunch of friends together. Yeah,
we just met half of them. Yeah, I mean, so I knew some of them from like different events. We do a lot of racing for ALS stuff, and I've met them through there. But yeah, as far as like getting together, like Danny Abrams, his buddy was Casey, and like we didn't know him. He just said, "Hey, Casey wants to come along." So I mean, it was crazy. I mean, everybody got along real well. We just had a really good game plan, and it was keep your lap times at like 2:30, 2:26, 2:28, something like that. Because then people would get hot and pulling 2:20s, and I'm like, had to get on the radio and yell at people. It was like, dial it back. We're not going to last. You know what I mean? Like, we got to. I know you want to go fast. I know this car is capable. We just had to dial it back, and that's the only way we lasted. It's just to keep calm and let these little cars zip by, tuck behind them, and keep going. You know what I mean?
So. This is a Camaro, late model Camaro, that had one of those LS thingies in it, the iron LSs, LT1. Oh, LT1. Yeah. Okay, so LT1. Those are like 300 horsepower when they came out, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly. Honestly, I have no clue. We're all ZL1 1LE guys, and when I saw it, I said, "Oh, look, it's a Camaro." Everybody got excited, and that's what we bought.
So what year is it?
You guys all track day Camaros, right?
Yeah, so most of the guys, like I said, we're all track day guys. I race a 76 Camaro with VDCA. I also have Formula Ford and a Sports 2000 as well. One of the other guys, he just started with Spec Iron. He's doing he's in a Mustang. And then another one of the drivers that we added, literally, he didn't even get a test day at CMP. and he's one of the smaller drivers, which you can't even see over the dash. He's running in a grid life with a Rush in the Rush series. Rush series. So yeah.
So you guys did have a little bit of track experience.
Oh, yeah. Well, VIR is our home track. We knew that track, like we know that track very well. Now at nighttime, that's a whole different story.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask that. So what about nighttime? I mean, how different is that track at night when you just run it during the day?
I mean, the problem is you're in your mirrors looking for these cars that are coming. You see all these lights and all these, everything going. It's like being a soccer player in the goal. You don't know which way they're going. You just see lights, right? So you got to pick a side and hope that it's the right side. And then by the time you look up for the apex, which you can't see, and you're already past it, so you're already offline. And it took me about 2-3 laps, and I kind of picked some spots where I knew where I needed to turn in, and kind of got my bearings and stuff. Like after that, it was fine. But yeah, it was
So
it wasn't good.
this year we did something different. Chelsea and I talked about it last year. So during the race last year, we had corner workers complaining that they heard something, but they couldn't see what car number it was. And it's like, you know what? We used to run lights here.
Yeah.
On certain corners and stuff. So we ordered 13 light generators, and that was another reason we were out so late. We were putting those up, and we had to tow each one out.
Oh yeah.
And funny story. One of our staff members got his big old 4-wheel drive Dodge stuck in the mud. So, and it was not me. I saved him.
Sure.
No,
sure
it was not me. I got him out. No, I knew better than to go places, because I'm always a guy that gets stuck. So didn't want to do that again. But we got him out, and then we continued the job. But how did that work out there with those lights on the corners? Did that help you once we got those up and running? Or did it make it worse?
Well, Oak Tree was worse. It was shining right in your face when you turned in there. But it was good.
That was which one? The one on your driver's left as you went up there?
Yeah, I think so.
Or the one over by the flag stand?
The one over by the flag stand. Yeah.
Oh, that would have been me. I aimed them down.
Thank you.
I aimed them down the track. It was really difficult to aim, especially during the day. And when I went around it in the truck, it looked okay. But yeah, it wasn't as dark as as you guys had it. Sorry about that, folks. That's
the going in a roller coaster, that new wall that they put in there. That was nice to be able to see that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I put that one up too, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, right when you come down the back street, you come in and you make a left to go down into roller coaster there.
Yeah,
they've got that new wall there.
Yeah. And it shined and made it. You could see it going down the street.
Oh yeah, you could see that. Well, once you get close to it, it's like driving in the country out there. It's pitch black. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's worse. Yeah. It's there's country dark and then there's VIR dark.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yeah, we got hit. Right in turn 1 there, got sent off hit the grass, hit the brakes, kept going, and hit the wall there. So the little tire wall. No, we hit it. We bent the tire, the lower tire rod.
It's a GM though. It just taps it. Don't they just bend back?
Oh, yes. We had to come in. We went back in the paddock. We had to bend it back. I mean, yeah, it was. I honestly I thought that was it, but our pit crew, I mean, man, they went. They were, the 2 guys were up for 24 hours, just wrenching, and just every time, that was the one I thought, okay, we're done. But no way, man. They said, nah, we're finishing this thing. And they bent that thing back, and boom, we were out in like 30, 40 minutes back on track. It's crazy.
See, that's something that, I find funny is when I walk down pit lane and you see teams with some damage come in and they're just throwing their arms up in the air. We don't know what to do, or their hood pops up, and it's like, dude, you gotta, all those tie down straps you're using for your easy up, steal one, just throw it on there, hold that hood down that way, or hold your splitter up in the air with that tie down strap.
Oh yeah.
You got any duct tape? You can make a new part out of duct tape. It kind of goes back to what we used to do in Lemons in the early days of ChampCars. You did what you did. Oh, we used Honda parts. Simon Says gave us some brake lines that we rigged up to work on Troy's MR2 when his brake line busted, and we gave it back to him later too. When it was done. But But yeah, it's just the crazy stuff that you kind of figure out. How can I make this work to get the car back out, the drivers all their seat time?
When
So
when the hood comes up, you need a guy on the crew with ample girth, kind of like me, to be able to sit on that hood to get it to bend back.
Because it just doesn't go up. It
No,
goes up,
it goes
and
up
over,
and then it
does
bends.
this-
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you need a guy who's a little on the hefty side, maybe who may have grown up getting their clothes in the husky
Yeah.
section. I'm a little triggered by that. To be able to hop up on that hood and do your best like Hot Rod Magazine pose while
Yeah.
someone's got the duct tape out trying to
Yeah.
get the hood back down.
Preferably with your clothes on.
You know, I'm not gonna judge. I'm not gonna judge.
True, that's true.
When you said VIR dark, so did you guys get the clouds that came in off the Dan?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was no
Turned
moon.
So 17 turned 17. Well, it was kind of on and off.
Okay.
But then again, I'm looking. This is what I did all weekend.
Yeah.
You know, just looking at Flagtronics marching ants, because that's why we have it. It's one of those things that can help us, especially at nighttime. You know, you're driving a car, something happens, and you go off. Corner worker doesn't see it, but we can see it in Flagtronics.
Right.
So my job is to sit there and watch for those little telltale signs. And I can see, you know, we have enough resolution there. We can see when you go off track. The funniest one was a guy that goes into Oak Tree. I don't know what the hell he did. I think he came off of, I forget the name of the turn. It's the one before the drop down into Oak Tree. Yes,
10.
the bend. Yeah, turn 10 there. And he goes up there, and I think he just went straight off into the field. And he just
A lot of people do that.
Yeah, he was just driving around out there. We're watching him. Well, is he going to rejoin? Oh, he's going over to the south course.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the reason
yeah.
I asked was because I was walking back to the motorhome one night, and the full moon, it's like I could see forever. And then the next night, I'm walking back to the motorhome, and the clouds came in, and it was so dark, I couldn't
Get the wrong motorhome.
couldn't find my motorhome. And now there may have been some adult beverages involved in some of this, so that may have had something to do with it. But
Yeah.
it's
it
dark
gets
when
that
the
dark
cloud comes in.
Yeah, it gets that dark there. So
Yeah, very cool.
fun.
So this is usually where we ask a newbie team, Jet, you know, what did you learn on your first? But usually they've they get to like the 6th hour and break and they're done. So you've got a little different experience. I mean, usually the new teams the goal is to finish. You not only finished, you came in second. But what did you learn that you'll be able to come back with next time and go after first?
Well, first thing is not buy Amazon parts.
Okay.
That's number one. Yeah. Because that took us out in the first stint.
Okay.
We had to come in and change
Tell
all
us
that
about
stuff.
that. What happened?
What was the part?
So it was the front hubs, the front wheel bearings. Yeah, we changed them out because we're like, oh, these are old ones. Let's start with new ones. Couldn't get new ones, so we bought these cheap ones. And big mistake. We went out first. I took it out for the first hour. Did a driver change. And I mean, I felt it was kind of wobbly, but you know, I drive a 76. I race a 76 Camaro, so I'm used to being all over the place. You know what I mean? I'm used to it. Then the next driver gets in, and he's just like, "Oh my God, there's no brakes. The front's all over the place." So on a second lap, so yeah, we lifted it up, and sure enough, they were just complete. Yeah, all over the place. So back into the paddock and changed them out, and like I said, we had them changed out.
What did you change them out with? You put the old ones back in?
Yeah, we put the old ones back in, and then when we went for a gas run, we bought new ones. Like out in the middle of nowhere in Danville, they had 2 of them there. So we called everywhere, and they had some.
So you did 2 bearing changes?
Oh yeah, the front bearing. That's what I'm saying.
And came in second. This is just the craziest story.
And got hit.
And got hit.
And had to come out and had to change that. The one time it was my stint again. They said, "Oh my God, the brakes, they're gone. We need to change brakes." I said, "No, I'll go out. I'll be easy." And I mean, they were nothing. They were like paper thin by the time I came back in. I mean,
so what were you using for brakes?
So a buddy of ours, Kobe Shield at 89X parts.
Okay.
We had those Hawk Performance ER1 pads. So he hooked us up with those, and they lasted really, really well.
Okay.
So Yeah, we just burnt through them and then swapped out and got a new set. So
That Camaro is so light too, right?
oh yeah, it's super light. Yeah, same weight as the Porsche next to us. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Did you guys have a AC in that car?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, it's completely gutted. I mean, there's nothing in there. Wires everywhere. But yeah.
So you guys pitted next to the Floridians, who are well known for their party habits and their, craziness with all their family just hanging around the pit lane, and they give you guys a hand there. They're really experienced at this stuff, and Daytona winners.
So this one thing I have to say, everybody on the pit, the guys that were next to us that we shared our little pit stall with, and them, and I mean, everybody was super helpful. I mean, if you were calling for a tool, both sides had tools over the wall.
Oh, wow.
I mean, everybody was, even though that we were racing with them and like up their butt, they still handed us tools. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was that camaraderie is a lot of times why I race in vintage, because that's what you get there. But SCCA is a little bit more, it's a little dicey. You know what I mean? People get a little more aggressive.
Their trophies are better.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
No, your trophies are pretty good.
I know. Oh wait, we can't talk bad about SCCA. Sorry, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Just kidding. But yeah, it's that's what I really love about ChampCar.
Yeah.
Pit lane is just, I mean, everybody's there to help you, especially with the newer teams, because we want teams out there racing with you, and because it sucks being out there and you're the only car there. Where's everybody? Usually that's I'm in the paddock saying that, but
Yeah.
Cool. So, what kind of changes? This was a huge learning experience. 24 hours. You learned so much about yourself, your team, your car.
Mm-hmm.
What you forgot, what you should have brought, what you brought too much stuff. What'd you learn from this?
I mean, definitely the car. I mean, the first couple stints out, I really wanted to test the car and see what it was capable of, and how, when it would talk back to me like, hey, we can't rev it this much, we can't push it this far, we got to keep it in this window, and then basically stay there. You know what I mean? That was, and like I said, that was the hardest thing with that car, because it is quick, was to keep those times, I guess high. I don't know, like just keep them in that 227, 230 window, so that we could, maybe last this 24 hours. But as far as drivers, I mean, every one of those drivers that I'm friends with are amazing. I mean, they're all really, really good drivers. So I wasn't worried about that. I was just more worried about the clutch. You know what I mean? Because I have no clue what clutch is in that car. I don't know. Is it single disc? I have no clue. Yeah. No, I don't know if it's single disc, dual disc. I mean, and all of this is stemming from, like I said, that Camaro that I have. I had a single disc and blew that thing. I blew the motor in the back straight there at VIR, and I had a 383 stroker in that thing, and just blew it. So,
did you guys have brake ducts on the car?
Yes, we actually put some brake cooling in there. You know what I mean? Put some vents in there and ran them in, and right on the side of the calipers and stuff like that.
Yeah, because that really helps a lot, especially with the heavier cars. Yeah, as many as you can. I mean, we were at 3,000 pounds, and we with the driver and cool shirt and all that stuff, and I ended up running 2 3-inch tubes to each brake, and that really helped our pads live a long time.
Yeah, that's what we did. We had it mounted right on behind the calipers right there, blowing right on the rotors and stuff.
On the hubs, the rotors, anything that collects the heat back there, it had rotors.
It got pretty hot in the middle of the day. That we were, car was, didn't want to shift. I mean, it was getting hot. Things were heating up, and it was starting to, we're running like 230, 232, temps. I mean, it was
is that a lot for a?
I mean, it's for that. Yeah, things could go south pretty quickly. You know what I mean? So that's why we were trying to kind of hold it back a little bit. Like I said, the biggest thing was keeping the lap times. We're in that window, and my biggest thing, all I cared about was, I hear a lot of stories about people, they don't see the sun up. They don't see the sun come up. They don't make it to the checker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my biggest thing, I didn't care where we came in. Honestly, I just wanted to, try and get to that checker. That's all I really cared about. So,
yeah.
And then when you realize, oh crap, we're holding second. You know what I mean? And things start to change, and everybody was getting excited, and then you're like, oh, slow down, slow down.
So two things. First of all, John Leclerc has our one-upsmanship start of the evening. He says, bearing change? We changed the whole transmission. Got lucky to find one. So, love that. So as a new team, you go in hoping to finish, right?
Yeah.
At what hour do you say to yourself, I'm in second? I mean, you're at second, but at what hour do you believe you might actually be able to stay in second? Like, is that hour 23:45?
Yeah. I mean, honestly,
yeah.
It was as soon as the lights started coming up, and I went out for that last stint, and the one right before, it was the second to the last. I tried to stretch it with the fuel, and I did about an hour and 20 minutes. Just so that the last one would only be about an hour, so that we wouldn't run out of fuel, just
right.
thinking about anything that possibly could go wrong.
Right.
But yeah, I just kind of just cruised around, and once he got in, that was the longest 50 minutes of our lives.
Of course it is.
And I had to pull the comms off of my one of my crew members, and because he was having a blast. He's just rolling 220s, 222s, and and I'm like, no,
slow down.
Yeah, exactly. We need you.
Your best lap was a 2:20.204, so that's pretty darn good. It's like,
I think it was a 2:20. That was Jay.
It shows right here your best lap. Yeah, 2:20.204.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, yeah.
That wasn't. I think maybe Matt was trying to beat Jay's lap time, and that's what was going on. But it was at the end of the race. I don't know what was happening, but
yeah. Our guys would always do that. Whoever had the fastest lap, the last guy in the car is like trying to get that lap. And I made a rule. I said, you can't do that. We need to win this race, or we need to keep this position, and you're out there doing stupid stuff. I got a car back one time with a busted front nose and radiator because he decided to try and do a last lap and lost it. Coming out of the corkscrew. So at Laguna Seca, in a big sandbag, hit a big sandbag, which when the sandbag sits out there for decades or years, it turns into a concrete bag.
Oh, yeah.
And it cracked the radiator. It was like radiator support. Yeah, it was so bad.
So, Bill,
luckily it was the last lap.
Do you have timing and scoring up there? Do you have the
Yes, I do. Yep.
So what was the gap between first and second and third?
20 laps between first and second in D class. But listen to this. Floridians only did a 2:19.091. So they were only a second off. A little over a second off in time difference.
Huh.
So, yeah. So I'm pretty certain that if they did, because Floridians had a shock issue. They broke a shock. If they didn't have any issues like that, and they were just sitting there doing 2:20s, 2:25s, they might have given the Floridians a good run for their money, because that's only one lap, less than a lap an hour.
Yeah.
Different. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, we talked about that. If we didn't have that, Amazon debacle, or if we didn't get hit in the middle of the night, But then again, like I said, if they didn't break a shock, we don't know where we would have been. But we're happy where we placed. We're extremely happy where what we accomplished.
That drive home is always the what if.
We weren't what if, and we were just. I mean, honestly, we all looked at each other, and we had a beer, and just like, holy shit, we just made it 24 hours. Yeah. And we got this car across the finish line and saw the checker, and we came in second. Like, people were just, even them, those guys next to us were like, man, you guys should be proud of yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, you figure good, bad, and the ugly brought two cars. Bill Riley and gang, they've won a million, Daytona, or at least his cars have won a million Daytona for Rolex 24s. They've gone to Le Mans. They've won there, or they built cars that kind of won there. Has just top shelf guys. Not that you guys are top shelf, but and then you got other guys. You got Rockwell, who builds a car and solid performing drivers, and builds a hell of a car in his part time, because he's a dentist or student. And it's crazy, and these guys just do so good. And you guys come out there for your first race, and you finish it. It's just crazy. There's so many people that have over the years just tried and tried and got nowhere.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that was my biggest biggest goal. We had some videos of us asking like what we were gonna, what do you expect? And people were like, we're gonna blow up in the second lap, and I'm like, I just said, all I want to see is the sun come up, man. I just want to take that checker. That's all I care about.
That's right. That's right.
So, but yeah, I mean, all the drivers that we have, I mean, they're extremely fast. I mean, they're all sub-2 guys out there. I mean, in their cars. So
right.
I didn't have any issues with that. It was just that car. We just buying it. We didn't know. We don't know what the heck we had.
So when did you buy it?
April.
Yeah.
April. This is wow. That's awesome.
The end of April.
Like a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
April.
Yeah. The end of April, and then in June, we kind of I put it on the side, and then the middle of June. We took it down to CMP and little test day, and like I said, didn't like stopping, and it was all over the place, but
yeah,
and then just worked on it for about a month and a half, and yeah, here we are.
What's your next what's the next race you're gonna look at doing?
I don't know, man. We'd love to do Road Atlanta. That's one of my favorite tracks.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
but yeah, we're gonna have a meeting and kind of go over everything and see where we're going. I mean, obviously, I gotta make Ray happy. I gotta redo that cage. So,
now your crew, your crew, are they like, I want involved, I want to do this again, or are they just like, hell no, I'm not doing this again?
Oh no, every one of them. Oh, every one of them are, they're excited. They're, when are we gonna do this? Like, when is the next one? Yeah. We will come out anytime, And I mean, we couldn't have done it without them for sure. I honestly, when we were talking about pit crew, we were like, oh yeah, we can have like a 2 or, but we had 4. And I mean, I'll tell you, anybody that's going to do this, if you have people that want to come out and help, and the more, the merrier, because it may just be a little thing that makes a huge difference. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, we had 4 really, really good guys, and 2 of them are master mechanics, and they all are just car guys, so it worked out really, really well for us having them for sure.
And while it's good that the crew has some sort of mechanical background, it does take anybody,
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
absolutely.
People can hand a wrench, people can fill up the water bottles. I mean, there's lots of things that don't require to have one of those little certificates that say that you know what you're doing.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Go grabbing lunches, getting the fuel.
Absolutely.
And at 2 a.m, that's the hard. As a car, you're a car owner. You're trying to, wrangle everybody up, and you're forgetting to feed yourself and drink, and take care of yourself and take care. You're just so focused on the car.
Right.
Having somebody else there to kick in the butt and make you do stuff, get a little sleep, and that's the best.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I didn't get any sleep.
Yeah.
No. I mean, my plan was to sleep a little bit, and we had in the RV we had a comm set up, and I hear John. He's like, I'm hit, and somebody sent him off of turn 1, and I'm like, oh god. So we come out of there, and my biggest concern was, I mean, screw the race, screw the car. Right. How's John? You know what I mean? I don't give a shit about anything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he was fine, and looked at the car and got it back on the track. But yeah, I mean, after that, the adrenaline was pumping. Like, okay. And then it was my stint too. So, and now I got to drive in the dark.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Well, when you got hit, was that the tie rod bending?
Yes. Yeah, that was the tie rod bending.
And you thought it was over? It was just.
Yeah, we brought it back in, and we brought it in the pits, and we tried to bend it back out, and like I said, all these people were kind of handing tools over and crowbars and all kinds of stuff trying to bend it, and we ended up taking it off, pulling it off completely back up its trailer, and bending it back into shape and putting it back on, and yeah, it was back in business, man.
Then you
have to do an alignment, or did you just send it?
No, man, we actually we just took some tape measure and just kind of measured the front, measured the back, and eyeballed it, and that was one thing. Like it looked pretty. It was off maybe a quarter of an inch or something like that. But the tire wear was great. I mean, that was the other thing. Like are we going to burn through tires? Because the alignment's off. But no, it wore fine.
Yeah, I've seen guys pull out their they're back in the paddock. They're repairing. They get their repair done pretty quick, and then some guy pulls out a full alignment kit, wants to do a whole alignment on the car. It's like, dude, are the tires pointed forward? Get back out there.
That's
Who
right.
cares? Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, you can align it
At
on
that
Monday.
point, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just threw a tape on it real quick. Just, it's.
Yeah, nothing's worse than going into the first right-hander and figure out, oh, it doesn't want to turn. But hell, it turns great at turn 3 in the left-hander.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna be down. I'm gonna be in turn 10 down in there driving around with that guy in the swamp.
Yeah, exactly. So been there.
Yeah, definitely.
So, cool. And you're not looking to go Ford Mustang. Seems like everybody's going Ford Mustang the last year or two. It's kind of cool to see a Camaro out there.
I mean, I like Mustangs. I've got a Mustang. I've got a 24. I got a brand new one. That's what my wife drives.
So this show's now over.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're Camaro guys. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we talked about a Miata,
Wait. You live in North Carolina, right? Doesn't everybody have a Mustang in their front yard?
Yeah, pretty much. It's either
it may have wheels on it or not, but
pretty much. Yeah.
Good stuff. You mentioned
my wife won't allow me to have one.
Yeah, because it's bad enough you're trying to kill yourself on a mountain bike. We give you a Mustang, you might never come back.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier that you did some stuff with racing for ALS.
Yeah.
Do you know my good friend Ryan Cheek?
Yeah. We know Ryan Cheek. Yep.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about racing for ALS for those who don't know.
So Racing for ALS is Scott Lloyd and his brother Dave, who passed away, but he had ALS, and it's just they started raising money for research with Duke, and did there's a ton of track day and charity, and just donating a lot to a lot of people in need, and vans, and I mean all kinds of stuff. I mean it's actually I'm proud to be a part of part of them, and be one of the I go to all the events and represent them. I didn't know if we could have decals, but I have my little Racing for ALS decals on there and stuff like that. So
you can do it up whatever you want as long as you have the required decals on the car.
I wish I would have known that, because that car would have been covered in the ALS stuff.
We
would have had it would have been Ricky Bobby. I would have had it like the Fig Newtons across the windshield. Awesome. But Scott's a great guy, and does a lot for a lot of people, and I'm just happy to be a part of them.
It's
Matt, the driver, one of our drivers. He's Scott's neighbor, actually. Lives right next door. So, yeah.
Cool. Now, it's a great organization. If you get to the end of the year and you gotta donate some money, before tax season gets you, look those folks up. Racing for ALS. They're on. I think it's racingforals.org, but you can Google it. It pops right up. And if you got some bucks to throw around at the end of the year to make the tax man happy, that's a great organization to send it to. So,
I think speaking of next race, I might talk to Scott, and I think you might see us all out there in the suits, and
nice
car be covered in it if I know that we can do that. Maybe and have tents, and have selling shirts and trying to raise some money and stuff like that. Be really cool. I think.
Come on out and do it. Because we're a nonprofit, we can't really get involved with it, but we give you the little spot. You go do it yourself.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Yep.
Cool.
All
right. I think that's it, Brian.
Anything else before we let him go?
That's it for me.
All right.
Fun to see you guys out there, and it's always great to see a new team do well. It's difficult. You guys should be proud of yourselves, and congratulations to all your team and crew and family, and we'll see you guys back for the next race.
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.
No problem. You can go ahead and log out.
All right.
Cool.
So what else do we got to talk about, Mr. Bill?
Well, we're actually tomorrow. I head over to Troy's, and Ray's headed over to Troy's, and then we're going to head up to where are we going? New Hampshire, not New Hampshire. Thompson Speedway up in Connecticut. It's kind of like New Hampshire, isn't it?
No, actually, it is. It's Connecticut. it's nothing like New Hampshire, but
yeah, it's up there in the Great White North-ish. Not as far as Canada is, but kind of up there. So we're headed up to Connecticut for the Thompson 12-hour. we go straight from a 24-hour to a 12-hour. We like to come down slowly instead of just going straight to those little sissy 8+7s. We had 40-something cars signed up, but then 6 people decided not to bring their cars. Obviously, they have some issues. One of them broke his wallet. It says, broke my wallet. So that
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, we're down to 34 cars for that race. We could always use a bit more, so come on out. If you're wanting to race your car, come on out there. And I know we have a lot of folks that have raced at that track. Great little track. Mid-Ohio sold-out race. That's coming up in a couple of weeks as well. I know we had 18 cars on the wait list.
Wow.
A lot of cars, yeah. So, that one has sold out. So that's going to be pretty wicked. Somebody was asking me what course we're using for Mid-Ohio. We are using the Pro course, which does not have the chicane. We are going to start the race on the back straight, and we'll finish it on the front straight because we have 70 cars.
There you go.
So, yeah, gotta give room for people to race instead of having them all backed up in the last turn of the racetrack and causing the big one before the racing starts.
That's right.
So lots of folks signed up for that guy. And then we head off to Harris Hill, Texas, and we've got 38 cars. This is almost a sold-out race.
Nice.
This will sell out at 45 cars, and that's big. I mean, that race kind of went down in numbers, and we're getting there.
Yeah.
On the sold out, because it was always sold out. But I think it's times.
Yeah.
And people are getting back racing.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. Then we head over to Pittsburgh International Raceway for the Beaver River Grand Prix, and 43 cars signed up for that guy. We have a few more spots left open on that, so if you need to get over there, get signed up. And then today is the early pay cutoff for the Road America Land Jaeger Cup 8+7 hour enduro up at Road America, which I probably said already. That one, I know when I sent the email out yesterday, we had 17 cars signed up. Guess how many we have now, man?
40.
44 cars.
44. That's awesome.
Yes.
That's
I didn't know
awesome.
there were 44 cars still with sills on them up there in Wisconsin.
Hey, come on now. Come on now.
The land of not having sills on your car.
There you go.
It's crazy, or rockers, or whatever you call them.
Before you get to the next race, at least half of the people watching have not clicked the like button, so make that happen right now.
Come on, guys.
Smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell. Got to see those numbers go
I
up.
did not monetize this show. Have you noticed there's been no commercials?
Oh.
I didn't monetize it, so we might do it later. But right now, no, I didn't do it. So I thought you guys were complaining about the commercials being at the, probably the most important part of the talk there. So I kind of took that away.
You can't set them up to go while I'm talking because no one cares when I'm talking.
Well, that's what I was thinking. It was just, Bill's talking. That's cool. We'll learn about, old people diapers. I don't know. Atlanta Motorsports Park we head off to. That early pay ends August 22nd, 7th. So you have until then to get your $200 discount off your $1,850 price to enter. So you can get into that race for $1,650. That's the Flying Wrench Motorsports Amped Up Duels.
Yep.
And that's at Atlanta Motorsports Park. And that does have a limited amount of folks. We don't have a lot of room on pit lane, but up to 21 cars right now signed up for that guy. Great little track. Well, it's not little. Great track.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to be doing some racing Friday night, I think, at the go-kart track, which is right on the track. So I know that some of our staff were trying to get everybody together on that, and
nice.
We'd love to have some racers join us too. That'd be fun.
Yep.
Get everybody out there racing go-karts, and that's supposed to be one heck of a little go-kart track.
Yep.
And then of course VIR. I got to do the subs for. Yeah, there's 2 races I haven't done subs for.
Well, get on it, Bill.
Don't tell my boss. So the VIR International race. Oh, I know why I didn't do them, because we would have people pulling down the wrong subs. So we had VIR.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's true.
That was a good excuse.
Good excuse. Nice save.
Yeah, the VIR Winter Classic, and early pay ends on October 1st for that guy. We got a few entries, or 3 entries for that guy. And then, of course, the year ender at Sebring International Raceway, 8+7 hour enduro. Let me tell you guys, every year this has been selling out because, Brian, in January, you're headed to South Florida, right?
Yep.
For the SCCA,
Yep.
and there's a whole bunch of series down there. I know Farah does a bunch of stuff. I think they use ChampCar's race. A lot of the Spec Miata guys and whatever series they're running in, they use our track to get seat time.
Yep.
On Sebring because of your race.
Well, and it's cool because it's a whole like winter vacation for folks because they've got your race on the New Year's weekend, and then the following weekend is an SCCA race at Homestead.
Yeah.
And then the following after that, I think they're back to back, is Sebring. So you can take the family down, spend 2 weeks, 3 weeks in Florida. Who doesn't want to do that in January, especially if you're in Wisconsin or Michigan or North Dakota, you know, and that's a huge event for for you guys, for the folks down at Homestead, for the folks up at Sebring, for SCCA. It's a great time. And and there's the Gator Shack. So, I mean, I can't not go to the Gator Shack.
You cannot. You have to go there when they wheel out this little cart. And it's filled with raw steak meat. And you get to pick your steak, and it's what, 5 inch. It's
well, they have varying sizes and flavors and all of that. I don't eat that anymore.
All the technical stuff, I really don't have a clue with.
But the Gator, I'm going back to the Gator.
Oh, Gator Tails.
I love Gator.
Sorry, Jimmy and Al. If you guys remember Al Chiswick, I mean, they would pick like the biggest steaks, and I tell you what, Al could put down a steak. It was awesome.
Oh, it's good
stuff. And Road America, I'm gonna miss this year, man.
This is the weekend you're gonna miss because of the wedding.
Yeah, the wedding, and because we go to the supper club.
Yeah, Siebkens.
No. Schultz's Supper Club or something like that. Not Siebkens. Siebkens is a bar. Yeah. But the Supper Club is out in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
And you get these prime ribs that are like, 10 inches tall.
More stuff I don't eat.
Yeah. And, it's the best. It is the best. It's one of the best experiences I've been to traveling, just from the amount of food you get and how they do it. How they, the height of COVID.
Yep.
We go to Road America and we walk into this place, not one person's wearing a mask inside except for ChampCar staff, and everybody's smoking cigarettes and doing their drinks, and it was pretty awesome. Surprised nobody would have got out of there sick, but nobody did.
There you go.
So that's where we're at, and always if you, I just noticed I got to do some more work tomorrow.
Start a list.
Yeah. But yeah, if you have any questions about ChampCar, pop me an email, bill.strong@champcar.org, or just pick an email somewhere on the pages, the contact us page, and we'll get right back to you with an answer. Yeah. It might be true. Sometimes you get this stuff up.
Accuracy is questionable.
Yeah. So, but that's all about ChampCar. I mean, who knew?
Who knew?
The Camaro that just was, put together, over a couple month period would finish the 24-hour. The Lifeline 24-hour class.
What a great story.
Yeah.
Great story.
And that may be our last 24-hour at VIR for a while. So we may be moving it somewhere else.
All right.
And we're still working the details. And as soon as we find out, we'll tell somebody.
All right.
I always tell somebody.
Before we go, John Wittenauer in the chat, Timothy Elliott, Kelly Wittenauer, Clive Bogle. Bogle or Bogle? It's Bogle. Bogle, thank you. Clive, I'm sorry. I always do that. Let's see. John LeClaire, Chef Lance Racing, Hilaire Calda, going through the whole list here. Thank you all. Team Infinity is here. Who else? I think that's everybody. Richard Buckholtz. I think I got everybody.
Well, I'm showing 27 people on right now with 18 likes. Let's get some more likes.
I know.
We don't spam you. We don't email you. Just hit the like. Just click. And I know some of you might be watching on your TV, and it's kind of hard to click over.
And if you're watching after we're live, click that like button.
Yeah, really, really important.
Yep, love it. Love it.
Yeah,
Vetterhund.
and,
Vetterhund's also
I
here.
think, and I think what month is August 20th. So that means we've got a rule book coming out. We have a election coming up for board of directors. We always have the petitions for the 2026 BCCR up and live on the website, so you guys can start putting those in. So lots going on with ChampCar, and lots of racing, lots of business stuff, and yeah, that's it. I'm off to Thompson, Connecticut.
Cool.
Yeah, Thompson, Connecticut, and then obviously Mid-Ohio after that, and a couple days later. And yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. I think that's it.
Living the good life.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Yeah. Peace out.
Hey, yeah.
Wait, one more thing.
Uh-oh.
Your exercise challenge.
Oh, yes.
Butt, man.
Yeah, we're having a good time. I think we've got up to 75 members or 70 members. AJ Jackson, he is the guy who's helped bring a lot of those folks in. It's called 30 for Life. There's a Facebook page. You jump on. It's an accountability group. So after every workout, you put your post on to show that you did it, and we all kind of encourage each other and have a good time. There's some rules because it's a challenge. If it weren't a challenge, if it weren't for rules, it wouldn't be a challenge. But it's not a hard challenge. Basically, you're supposed to do some sort of moving 30 minutes, 6 days a week. So you can walk, you can ride, you can swim.
You even have it on Strava too.
I do. There's a Strava group for it as well. And
here it is right here.
Yeah.
So
good stuff.
Look for the Strava group, and
it's not just racers. You can invite any of your friends to join you. Take your significant other along. Make your kid do it with you. I'm really trying, but that's a harder sell.
It kind of blows me away at how many of our racers are out there riding bikes and doing this stuff.
Well, got to stay race fit.
And it's not just the skinny guys.
Nope.
The guys that are fit. It's the big guys like us.
Like me.
And us. I mean, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I'm addicted to it. My wife's doing it.
Nice.
And it's pretty fun. So
yeah. So
all right.
Awesome.
Does 90 minutes in the race car count as a workout? Yes. It does. I think it does. Yeah,
I would take that. I would take it. Especially if
you got to do it. But you got to do it every day, man.
Exactly.
Freeway driving does not count.
Exactly. All right.
All right, man. We're done.
All right, we are done.
Next week.
That's good.
We are done.
That's going to do it for another episode of Inside ChampCar. If you like what you hear, subscribe to the podcast. You won't miss any episodes. It would also be great if you share it on your social media channels. If you can comment on the ChampCar Facebook page, especially if it's a good one. New episodes every week. This is ChampCar Live on YouTube. It's the Racing Wire Podcast Network on the podcast platforms. He's Bill Strong. I'm Brian Polanski. You guys have yourself a great week. Go play with cars.